I think when we get this monkey off our back as American slalom skiers, then things could really start happening. And it would be so nice to watch a slalom and not just root for Europeans. Welcome back to the Race Recap. I am Joe, and this is probably the best ski racing analysis on the internet. It is January 11th. I am a day behind my normal race broadcast schedule. However, there were 5 races to watch this past week, including 4 tech races over the weekend. We had the midweek Tuesday Zagreb races, what turned into a Tuesday and then a Thursday. In Zagreb, I love Zagreb. I don't want to bag on Zagreb. I'm bummed we didn't get the men's race off, but we will get to that a little bit later. We also had the Adelboden races, which are just mainstays in the World Cup, everybody's favorite, and Kranjska Gora ladies tech events. Moved from, Modano? Maribor, Slovenia, over to Kranjska Gora. So we get to see the girls in Kranjska Gora once again for some pretty good racing. Let's start with Zagreb. Now, Zagreb was very interesting this year. On the women's race, there was no snow to be seen anywhere, and there were more leaves on the track, more leaves on the snow than I've ever seen in a ski race or even just any kind of skiing situation in my life. I thought it was really cool having all those leaves out on the hill. It gave this really wild feeling of almost like a fantasy land world that they were ski racing through. There was one point where there was a dust devil tornado of leaves when I believe Katrina Trupe was coming down, and there was a dust devil coming up, and as it passed by her, leaves were swirling into the air, she was shredding, and it was just a really cool feel. It almost felt like they were racing through like an anime, or again, a fantasy land. It was really, really neat. Course conditions were iffy at best, really rough track. I think that they were trying to save half the hill for the men, half the hill for the ladies on that track, which is why the ladies kind of ran through their ruts from the first run. I think that's what was going on. I'm not really sure. But it definitely affected the quality of skiing from the girls. And then it was kind of a theme for the weekend. And then the girls moved from Zagreb over to Kranjska Gora, and there's poor snow conditions there. And the men's go to Adelboden, where I'm not exactly sure was the best snow condition either. And so we had a full week of ski racing with, call it subpar snow conditions. And before I get too critical of that, I have a story of when I was coaching. I was at the Western Region U16 Championships, and I was riding a gondola, and there was a fairly well-known ski coach from former U.S. ski team ski coach even. And we were riding the gondola, and he said, I don't think there should ever be a U.S. Nationals on the East Coast. To which I was the lone East Coast guy in the gondola, and I said, with all due respect, go F yourself. The reason being that in America, there's 60% of our membership, people who are racing on the East Coast, duking it out, doing it for the passion, and where on the West Coast, we get the better snow, the better mountains, and the better weather, and all this like stuff that makes it better, and give him a good reason to want every U.S. Nationals to be in the West. However, if the membership's in the East, and that's where the vast majority or a majority of the people are skiing and racing out of, well, then there better be some races there. And U.S. Nationals better be on the East Coast often, because that's where the racers are that are supporting this whole thing. And I tell that story because we just watched the World Cup Tour go through Eastern Europe. And yes, Eastern Europe is kind of like the East Coast in America. The weather's not as good, the snow's not as good, but the passion for ski racing, the membership for ski racing is in those Eastern European locations. And just like Killington, the number one viewed or the number one attended World Cup race on the women's side is in Killington, Vermont. East Coast ski racing. So you got to take the World Cup Tour to where the fans are, to where there's passion. And even though I like seeing the girls and the guys on perfect snow conditions, perfect skiing, get to see everybody's best. I totally appreciate when they go to these places and the conditions aren't perfect and they go out and they put on a show and they go and race as hard and fast as they can. And I thought that's what Zagreb was. The men's side at Zagreb, I thought was shaping up to be a fantastic race. I'm truly disappointed that that one got canceled. Right out of the gate, you get Sebastian Fuß-Solveig, who I think up until 4 gates from the finish in Adelboden was proving that he is the number one first-run slalom skier on the World Cup. The guy, when he draws bib one, is a threat. He won a bunch of first runs last season. In Zagreb, in those soft conditions, he was way ahead of everybody else. Nobody had a chance to be close to him. And then the next couple days later, in Adelboden, he draws one again. And Adelboden was this crazy race where after the first run, there were 17 or 18 guys within a second after the first run. But had Sebastian Fuß-Solveig found the finish line on his first run, he was going to be 6/10 up on the whole field. That race could have been completely different had he made the finish line there. His first run skiing is spectacular. He is fast. He does it with a weird, awkward style. It's a little bit back. He's almost tail gunning, but it is tremendous. And I can't understate enough how good Sebastian Fuß-Solveig is on the first run. Before we move too far away from Zagreb, Petra Vlhova is your winner. Michaela Shiffrin is a clear-cut second place. Michaela was reeling in Petra halfway down through the flats. Michaela was gaining on her and was faster than her. However, she could not bring it all the way to the finish line. Ali Nollmeyer of Canada, 5th place. Some fantastic skiing from Ali. She won the second run. Really impressed with what she's got going on right now. And Paula Moltzen, 11th place. Paula Moltzen, let's talk about Paula Moltzen. The wrist is a big deal. She's hurting. She's in a lot of pain. She took a big fall in the GS in Kranjska Gora. I hope that she can pull it together and have a clean Olympics. I don't know if that's totally possible right now. I will say that the duct tape job she's got going around her wrist and the pole has got to get cleaned up. Okay, this is a World Cup. She's going to be doing this for the rest of the season. They got to do a better job. They can't have duct tape falling off halfway down. They can't have it looking like some redneck fixing a bumper on his car every time they wrap that pole to her hand. So I don't know if they need a sleeve or maybe some straps or something, but it's got to look better than the schmeary duct tape that's broken off and hanging from her pole in the finish line. Men's side in Zagreb, yes, the race got canceled. They couldn't get snow to hold. I don't know if they were worried that they were going to hit dirt in that one rut. I don't know if they were worried they were going to blow someone's knee out. Maybe that is the reason. Maybe there was a safety issue. However, that could have been one of the greatest ski races we've ever seen. There is nothing like watching a ski race where conditions deteriorate and seeing how the best deal with it. However, I'm sure it was a safety decision. And we lost the Zagreb men's race, which is a bummer, but maybe they made the correct decision. The snow was gnarly. It was soft. It was bumpy. It was bad. And so we lost it. That's okay. Moving on to Adelboden. Adelboden last season hurt a bunch of my favorite racers in the race. Tommy Ford, Lucas Brathen, Adel McGrath. And where is Adel McGrath? I don't know. Does he have COVID? What's the deal? I don't know where he is, but I miss him. The first run in Adelboden in the GS almost was like they were trying to prove a point that it doesn't have to be the fastest GS on the circuit and it doesn't have to be dangerous. That GS, with the speed they were carrying at the end of the flat before the big breakover onto the big steep, was janky. It was some ugly skiing from everybody. And when Luca Dale Prandini straddled the gate and went into the net and looked like he was really hurt, I was ready to take Adelboden's World Cup away. You know, I'm okay with going to Zagreb. I'm okay with going to Kranjska Gora. I think we should be in those places. And this big, great Adelboden GS that everyone gets so excited about, I was ready to take the World Cup away. All right, history only takes you so far if you're putting on a subpar product. And I thought last year's product of hurting all those people was unacceptable. Then this year, the kind of crappy course set, the crappy skiing that we saw in the first run because of how slow the course set was, and then Luca Dale Prandini nearly breaking his ankle. Turns out he did not break his ankle. I was ready to bag it. I was ready to say Adelboden, just they need to lose it. A lot of things are changing in 2022, and just because it's this big, great GS through the cow fields, which I don't know why we're bragging about that, I was feeling like it needed to go. Then second round of the GS happened, and my faith was restored in Adelboden. It was a fantastic ski race. I thought that Marco Odermatt getting the win on home soil was fantastic. It was really good theater. I was on the edge of my seat for the second run. Manny Feller is skiing fantastic. I really like what Justin Maurissier is doing. And Philip Zubcic gets back into it. Loic Maillard is making a bunch of good runs left and right. And it was a really entertaining race. Eric Reed, 12th place. That's fantastic. We're happy for him. Brian McLaughlin getting himself into a second run. 23rd, didn't really have it on the second run, but that's okay. He needs to build some experience and get a little better in these situations. But it was a really fun race to watch down the second run. So, faith restored. Before we go on to the men's slalom from Adelboden, let's move over to Kranjska Gora, where the ladies had a ugly snow GS. Now, I've been bagging on snow conditions, and I still will bag on snow conditions when it warrants it. However, everyone knows that when you go to Kranjska Gora, this is what you get. I still think we should go there. It's still entertaining racing. Sarah Hector comes out, wins both runs, and looked awesome doing it. It was a fantastic race. I think anybody who stayed around to the end of that to watch Sarah come down and win that run and really win it convincingly like she did, you can't deny how entertaining that ladies' GS was. Some really good skiing there. Valerie Grenier, I don't know where she's been since Solden when she was 5th or 6th or whatever she was. Hasn't been in any World Cups, and then bam, shows up, bib 25, 4th place. Some fantastic skiing. Friend of the show, Valerie Grenier. And just phenomenal. We see the return of Laura Gutbarami, 5th place. That's fantastic. Marina Gasinica Danielle from Poland. She's a good skier. She's a really good skier, and she's been good since last year, and it's nice to see her in the top 10, 6th place, one ahead of Michaela Schiffer in 7th place. Medorova did not get her podium like she likes to do in Zagreb. Bummer for her, but 9th place. Still really proud of her. And Katrina Trupe, kind of got a soft spot for Katrina Trupe. 11th place, proud of her too. The rest of the American girls didn't look that great. On the Canadian side, what did we have? Sarah Bennett out of Canada looks like she could be something. I thought Michaela Tommy had some good turns. Paula Malton did not finish. No, it's raced. Nicola Roundtree Williams. Cool to see her start in World Cups. She didn't make it. Maybe it was a little nerves or whatever, but there's some good skiing in her. Looking forward to watching her get more starts in the future. The ladies' slalom was good action from Kranjska Gora as well. Petra gets the win. Wendy Holdner, another 2nd place. You could feel, even through the broadcast, the air gets sucked out of the arena or gets sucked out of the race itself, the venue, when Wendy didn't win that race. Even Petra, you could see it on her face that she just felt terrible. She had just beaten Wendy again. Wendy's got 30-some podiums with no wins. It gets brought up every time she's on course. I hate that. I'm bringing it up here. She's not on course right now. I wish they'd stop talking about it. However, here we are in the recap. We're going to talk about it. But you could just see it. Even Petra in the interview at the end said she just felt bad for Wendy Holdner. Still, 2nd place for Wendy Holdner. Really cool. Anna Sven Larsen on the podium. I thought it was going to happen sooner, but here she is on the podium. I like her chances moving into the Olympics. Lena Dorr, 4th place. On the broadcast, they keep talking about how Lena Dorr is not known for being a steep skier, and that in Levy, she was only good because it was flat up top. However, I'm here to say straight up, Lena Dewar got it done in Levy on the pitch. Lena Dewar was not the fastest on the flats in Levy. On the pitch, she was tidy, she was clean, she was sharp edge setting, and she had a lot of tempo coming down the pitch in Levy. And so this idea, this notion that Lena Dewar is a flat skier, I think everyone's just been saying it, and they've said it so many times that they believe it. It's not true. Lena Dewar is better on the pitch than the flats. She likes a high tempo. She has a cleaner edge set than some of the other girls. That's where Lena Dewar gets it done. Psyched to see her in 4th place. That was really cool. Anna Bucic, 5th place. Can't believe that. That is wild. Really cool to see her improving. And then there's Ali Nolenmeyer. Again, 6th place. Canada's doing good. The Canadian girls are doing really good. Erin Milzinski, 9th place. Man, oh man, am I psyched for her. She's kind of figuring out. She's kind of skiing good. She still, when she makes a mistake, gets a little over emotional, but her skiing is so pretty. It's so dynamic. I really like seeing her do well, and I really think it's great that maybe she's getting the monkey off her back and she's turning herself into a competitor again and not just this phenomenal skier who also does World Cups. So really cool stuff there. Nina O'Brien is struggling. I don't know what she needs. I don't know. I still think she needs to embrace sitting back, watch some Bodie, figure that out, kind of align her skiing with how she wants to do it, because right now it just isn't working. Michaela Shiffrin straddled. That was crazy. I didn't see that coming. Zoe Zimmerman is on her inside ski, and for some reason there's some deviation. It looks like she's trying to make the turn from a hip twist, and the feet are stuck outside, and it's not working. Ali Resnick got a start in a World Cup. She looked pretty good. Did not make it, but there were some quick little sections in there. I believe in the middle section, she was actually in touch with some of the girls who made the second run. Good for her. Katie Hensian makes a second run, scores some World Cup points. I like seeing that. And all in all, I'm glad that we went to Kranjska Gora. It was some exciting racing. However, I will be more relieved, happier. I don't know what the right word is, but when we get the girls on perfect snow again, I can't wait, because there's a lot of girls skiing well right now. However, in these tough snow condition situations, you don't get to see as many girls do good as you will when the snow's perfect. So here's fingers crossed that the next women's race is perfect snow conditions. Men's slalom from Adelboden. What a race. What a crazy, crazy race. Now, first run was a U16 course. I'm just going to say it. If you got 18 guys in a World Cup within a second, then what did they just run? How hard of a course was it they just ran? We talk about that last pitch like it's an elevator shaft and oh my God, it's so steep, blah, blah, blah. But how is it possible that if it's so hard, 18 guys were within a second on the first run? The only way I can figure is if that course was so vanilla that you would have set it in a U16 race and said, let's have at it. Jonas Strolls off of Team Global Racing wins a World Cup. This is fantastic. I mean, a guy that's not on his national team wins a World Cup. I hope the USA takes note of this and is really paying attention to the Pat Kennys, the George Steffies, and well, they have to be the Luke Winners of the world, because Luke Winners is also on Team Global Racing. Congratulations to those guys. I'm super psyched about it. Manny Feller is skiing phenomenally fast, 2 seconds in Adelboden, GS and slalom. He is awesome. What a teammate. He was up and clapping and congratulating Fabio Gestrin when Gestrin chided him on the first run. And then he was so congratulatory, so happy for Johannes Strolls in the finish line. What a class act Manny Feller is, and what a cool looking dude too. I like the flat brim hat. I like the lettuce coming out the side. Manny Feller, I want to be like Manny Feller. Linus Strasser, good to see him on another podium. He's won a World Cup, and then he really fell off after that win he had in Zagreb last season. But then he comes back in Adelboden this season on the podium again. Good for him. Swiss guys did a heck of a job, 4, 5, and 6. Ramon Zenhauser finishes, I didn't realize his first slalom of the season. I didn't realize he was on that bad of a road, but 4th place for him. Solid, very good. Hopefully that sets him in for the Olympics. Luca Arene skied really, really well first run in that 3rd place. That was cool to see. And Loic Maillard is just like your Mr. 6th place. We did not get to see Van Atzer's second run, which is total BS because he won the run. Like, why aren't we showing that stuff? Daniel, 8th place, really cool. Rizzoli, 9th place. How cool is that? Luke Winters, 10th place. Boom. Dude, so sick. Proud of that guy. I'd love to have him on the show. Marco Schwarz appears to still be in some trouble. I think he's got a hurt ankle. I don't know. Doesn't look that good. The other American guys, I don't know. Slalom's not going so good. But if Luke Winters gets 10th place, that tells me that the other guys who in training are close and around him, they're there. And you know what? We've known that the Americans in slalom have been there for the last like 3 or 4 years, but we're just not seeing the results on the World Cup. I hope Luke getting this done gives the rest of the American men confidence that they too can be there. And I think when we get this monkey off our back as American slalom skiers, then things could really start happening. And it would be so nice to watch a slalom and not just root for Europeans, to see some Americans in there, to get back to some form, really make something happen. So here's hoping Luke Winters is the start of that, and hoping that those other boys can step it up, get it done, make some fast turns out there. That is going to wrap up any of the race coverage that I have from the week. A lot of things going on the channel lately. I've been out carving quite a few times over the last couple days. Those videos are coming out slowly but surely. I've got a tuning video that's up that I think is really good and I think could be really helpful to young race fans out there. Any old person that wants to learn how to tune skis too. So check out the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around on these race recaps. They're not getting as much views as some of the other stuff, but I really want to keep doing them. I like doing them, and I like you guys. So like, subscribe, keep shredding. All right, Brett. What do you think? I think I said too many names. I'm not putting flags up for everybody. I just can't do it anymore. I gotta cut down the editing. Did I totally skip Liensberger? Yeah, 3rd place. She looked good again. Too bad she DNF'd in the next one. Lena Popovic is awesome. I think she's fast. Didn't Sarah Hector have a World Cup slalom win lined up a couple years ago, and then she fell second run, but she was clearly the fastest skier on the day? They keep talking like she hasn't skied slalom good in years, but I'm pretty sure that like 2 years ago, Sarah Hector was the fastest on the hill and had a win lined up. And she just went out and fell, and everybody was super sad because everyone loved Sarah Hector. That could have been Sven Larsson, but I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Sarah Hector. Amelia Smart was sick out there, huh? She's skiing fast. The Canadians are good, dude. Ronnie Rundy's 17th in the World Cup in a slalom. That's really good stuff. Dude, Shlokar needs perfect snow. She can't do it unless the snow's perfect. Yeah, I don't think she just has that skill set. A lot of the ponies off the back, man. Give me more Eric Reed. I like watching him ski. Did you see Riccardo Tontetti? Dude, guy just can't get a run across the finish line clean. It's brutal. I don't know. The ladies are racing Schladming tonight, though. Like, boom! Let's go watch it.